Alright, we're going to start out from the very beginning. I'll go through some easy steps. Also, Jesus Christ, I wasn't watching this one. It is going absolutely ballistic at the moment. This one's going ballistic because they had tweeted in 2020 about going and working with Trump media. So, I understand why that one's flying. We'll go back to this one, though, and I'll show you some things. So, first off, let me delete all these to get all my drawing out of the way. First off, my favorite indicators to have are my MA50s, MA20s, MA200, MA100. These basically, the MA50, 20, that is, the MA50 is the average of the last 50 candles, MA20's average of the last 20, and so on and so forth. So, any MA that is the average of the last candles, the 50s, the 50, 20, 200, and 100 is the most widely used, so it's the most widely respected. So when a stock actually comes near these lines, buyers and sellers like to respect these lines thoroughly, and AIs like to respect them as well. Now, to set all this up, I'll come down here, and next to my little bell, I'll have this, it just looks like a weird little chart inside a box. You'll click on this, and then I've got my chart layers and draw. And my first thing I want to do is make sure all of these are active, my indicators and draw, and most importantly, I'm going to leave that off for now, though. We'll scroll down here, and right in the bottom right, I've got a chart in between two lines, is what it looks like on the bottom right down here. And I'll click on this, and these are the frequently used indicators, and my favorites. And also for Jordan, I know his favorites are VWAP, which is volume weighted average pressure. I think I may be wrong on what the or volume weighted average price, I think, is the last one. And then the MA, of course, is my little lines that I've got here. Now, the MAs and VWAP are a good indication of when the stock will bounce, or when it will bounce or get rejected. So, as you can see here, the VWAP is this yellow line. If I can turn off these MAs, it's this orangish yellow line, and this is basically telling you whether or not the algorithm thinks it's trading above how it should be for how much volume it's getting, or if it's trading under. You'll see it will break above it here, and it'll try to come back down it and hit it again. It's basically just a good indicator of whether or not a stock will, on what direction it'll go, and whether or not it'll stay in an uptrend, a downtrend, or if it's changing trends by going under or above it. We'll go back to the MAs. Like I said, to pull all this up, to activate your MAs and your VWAP, you'll click this down here in the bottom right. It'll pop up this little indicator, and then you can click whatever. I don't mess with the EMA, Bollinger Bands, or IC. I think Jordan may be able to explain Bollinger Bands a little bit better. And then I'm going to go ahead and take all these off and leave these bottom two down here. This RSI and this MACD. So RSI is basically saying whether or not it believes the stock is oversold or overbought. So the more buys that happen, so this big period that's right here, you will see the RSI climb. I think it taps out at around 80. And then as there's some selling, it'll drop back down. As you can see back here, it drops all the way as low as 50 before it comes back up. Now, when it's above 70 on the RSI scale, it is considered overbought. Now, this does not mean that the stock will stop being bought. It's just it's letting you know whether or not the algorithm thinks it is overbought, and it can give a sign that it's going to need correction soon. So as right here, as it's trading sideways, because it's way overbought, the longer it trades sideways, the more the RSI starts to fall down. So you'll see the RSI on this bottom chart slowly fall down into the 40s, and it'll keep falling even as low as 30. RSI is just really simple. It tells you whether it believes the stock is oversold, overbought. All right, that's really simple. Now, the other one that I've got at the bottom, I'll leave it by itself so I can show it off better, which is the MACD. This is a really good indicator on telling you if the price is about to turn bullish. If it's about to turn bearish, bullish means price moving up, bearish going down. And this will tell you if there's a buy signal or a sell signal. So it will actually give you signals on whether to buy or sell or not. Now, not all of these signals are good signals. You need some other things to confirm it, which is why you will use these MAs and VWAPs to confirm these signals. So back here, as you can see, the blue line is the MACD and the signal line is just the signal line. But the trick is when the MACD crosses the signal line, it is going up. It is giving a buy signal. But now if the blue line, which is the MACD line, comes down and goes underneath the signal line, it is called a sell signal. And as you can see, if you had bought at either one of these two MACD buy signals, you'd be up a casual 1,000%, so, or 700%, I think it was. So, nothing big, but not every one of these signals is good. You need some other things to verify it, which is why I won't trade it all the time, but it lets me see as these red bars down here on my MACD chart are big, that shows that there's a lot of selling pressure. Now, as these start getting lower and start turning green on this, that means buyers are starting to step back in, and it's looking like it's going to get bullish for a little bit. And then, of course, we're going to climb up. Basically, I like using candles as right next to that I was saying that you can pull up these indicators. Right next to it's this other little bar, and you can change it to lines, candles, whatever. I like lines best just because of how earlier I was able to draw these bull flags and then the W. So I'm able to draw out my continuations better than, say, if I was on this kind of graph. This is much harder to actually gauge on where this is going to go. I really don't know how else to explain it easier. It's complicated, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to just read charts like this and just be able to be like, I know where the price is going to go, and you can basically win yourself free money.